But we as a continent have now defined ourselves.
In the news, Nigeria's economy exits recession, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Ondo State Governor Akeredolu dissolves cabinet. NAFDAC approves emergency use of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine across Africa. World Health Organization to deliver 11,000 vaccines to curb the Ebola outbreak in Guinea and Democratic Republic of Congo. On the international scene, Australia says it is not intimidated by Facebook news ban. And in sports, Tokyo 2020 Japan Olympics Minister Seiko Hamshoto appointed head of games. The National Agency The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, on Thursday approved the emergency use of AstraZeneca vaccine, also known as Covishield, manufactured under a license by Serum Institute of India. The agency explained its vaccine committee expedited the review of the AstraZeneca vaccine based on the EUL given by the World Health Organization on the February 15. Outcomes of its review show that Covishield was found safe and well tolerated in adults above 18 years. Also, the multi-dose, 2-dose or 10-dose can be stored at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade, which is environmentally suitable in Nigeria. This makes NAFDAC the first in Africa to have guidance for emergency use listing of COVID-19 vaccines. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has dissolved his cabinet. The announcement was made during the valedictory meeting of the State Executive Council meeting. The move was made ahead of the February 24th second-term inauguration of the governor. While appreciating the members of the State Executive Council for their support for his administration in the last 4 years, Akeredolu lauded them for their dedication to duty. The governor said they had worked together as one and the interest of the state had remained paramount throughout the services to the state government. Islamic scholar Sheikh Mohammed Guni met with Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello on Wednesday on the security situation in the state. Gumi, who was on his way to Kebbi State, told reporters after the meeting that he and the governor spoke on several ways to deal with insecurity in a holistic manner and find solutions to the insecurity problem in the state. The managing director of LCC, Yomi Omomuwashan, lamented that the Lekki toll gate was never designated a crime scene by the Lagos Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Restitution for Victims of SARS-related abuses, a Lekki toll gate incident. Omomuwashan said that the violence resulted in substantial losses of its operations and services, stressing that the development brought a lot of uncertainties and staff in thousands of departments who are also being severely affected. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next, development across Africa. After the break, do stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. Across Africa, 6 children were killed and 5 others injured in northwest Uganda after an old explosive they found in the bushes detonated as they played with it, police said on Thursday. 3 children died instantly while 3 others succumbed to injuries en route to the hospital in Adjumani, a district of the West Nile region that witnessed years of conflict and insurgencies. Preliminary investigations suggest the explosion was from a hand grenade abandoned during the Lord's Resistance Army insurgency that affected West Nile region and in particular Adjumani, which was greatly affected. A consignment of more than 11,000 doses of Ebola vaccine is expected to arrive in Guinea this weekend. A 30-strong vaccination team has already been mobilized locally and is ready to deploy as soon as the vaccines are received. With efforts gathering pace to promptly tackle the new Ebola outbreak in Guinea and the Democratic Republic of Congo, the World Health Organization is deploying teams of experts to support the national authorities ramp up the response and avert widespread infections. More than 100 World Health Organization staff deployed from other countries from within Guinea are expected to be part of the Ebola response by the end of February. A team of 8 experts from the World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa in Brazzaville is leaving soon. Efforts are ongoing to step up surveillance, contact tracing, testing and treatment, as well as preparing for vaccination.
More than 11,000 vaccine doses are being prepared in Geneva for deployment to Guinea and are expected to arrive over the weekend. In addition, more than 8,600 doses will be shipped from the USA. WHO has released $1.25 million to support the response in Guinea and to show up readiness in 6 neighboring countries. Within the epicenter of the outbreak in a border area, the sub-region is on high alert and authorities are reinforcing public health measures, including surveillance, to quickly respond to possible cross-border infections.
Senegal has received 200,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine from Chinese company Sinopharm. President Macky Sall said the government bought the vaccine and did not wait to receive doses from the World Health Organization's COVAX scheme, which aims to make it easier for developing nations to buy them. Frontline health workers, the elderly and people with underlying health conditions are first in line for the shot. Sall said that Senegal aimed to get another 6.5 million doses in the coming weeks to widen its vaccination campaign. Senegal has seen a rise in COVID cases and deaths in recent weeks. The country has recorded 31,771 confirmed cases and 759 deaths. On the international scene, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said his government will not be intimidated by Facebook blocking newsfeed to users. He described the move to unfriend Australia as arrogant and disappointing. Facebook is responding to a proposed law which would make tech giants pay for new content on their platforms. Australians on Thursday woke up to find that Facebook pages of all local and global news sites were unavailable. People outside the country also unable to read or access any Australian news publications on the platform. Several government health and emergency pages were also blocked. Facebook later asserted this was a mistake and many of those pages are now back online. Mr. Morrison urged Facebook to work constructively with the government, as Google recently demonstrated in good faith. This is your Digital First Pan-African Network, TOS Network News. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next, business and sports. Welcome back. In business, Nigeria's economy exited recession in the 4th quarter of 2020, recording its first growth in 3 quarters as coronavirus-linked lockdown was lifted across the country, the National Bureau of Statistics said in a report on Thursday. The report said gross domestic product grew 0.11% in the 3 months between October and December from a year earlier. For the full year 2020, the economy contracted 1.92%, better than the International Monetary Fund projection. The MBS said Thursday that although the growth was weak, it reflects the gradual return of economic activities following the easing of restricted movement and limited local and international commercial activities in the preceding quarters. By implication, despite staggering out of recession, there will be sustained inflationary pressure on consumers' purchasing power in the coming months. The World Bank on Thursday announced it selected former Senegal Finance Minister Makhtar Diop to lead the agency responsible for private sector finance at a critical time for the global recovery. He would be the first African to lead the International Finance Corporation, with the leverages financing to support private firms in developing nations. Noting his deep development and finance experience, World Bank President David Malpass said Diop's skill at IFC will help the World Bank Group continue our rapid response to the global crisis and help build a green, resilient, inclusive recovery. The Washington-based development lender said Diop's key responsibilities will be to deepen and energize what it called IFC's 3.0 strategy to mobilize private capital, increase climate and gender investment and support countries facing conflict. It also aims to expand IFC's impact in the poorest and most fragile countries with a goal to more than triple IFC's annual own account investment, the World Bank said. Diop will take his new post at the IFC on March 1st. And in sports, Japan's Seiko Hashimoto has been appointed the next Tokyo 2020 president after her predecessor quit over sexist comments he made. The former Olympics minister is a 7-time Olympian herself, having competed as a cyclist and a speed skater. Former chief Yoshiro Mori resigned following a backlash after he was quoted as saying women talk too much. Another octogenarian male leader was initially billed to replace him, but this was also met with protests. Speaking to the media on Thursday, Ms. Hashimoto said she wanted the legacy of the Tokyo Games to be a society that accepted people regardless of gender, disability, race, or sexual orientation. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS TV Network. I am Uchenna Oka. Bye for now.